it was just me and all those guys, and of course, a couple of female crew members. And I was young for that group. I think I was, like I said, 20 or 21.
Yeah.
And, now I think about it, if I had a 20-year-old daughter, I'd be like, no fucking way are you going to go do that. I didn't have somebody do that, so I went to go do it. I mean, even if it weren't the 80s, the fact is, it was Oliver and it's all those young guys, and there's just a kind of an energy about that, a kind of tough guy energy that Oliver also kind of instigates and foments on the show. At least he did then. And it's a navigation to get through it. It was a navigation as a young woman. Now it would probably be easier. And I don't remember being like so distraught that I had to like run away from home kind of distraught. Just remember thinking, I got to keep my guard up at all times, which is not necessarily the best thing for acting, but I had to be defended and at the ready for shit to go down, because it felt like working with those guys. Like at any moment, something crazy could happen. Something could go sideways. Somebody could like blow a gasket. Somebody could get in a fight. Somebody, like, it was kind of male confined energy was, I think, something he created in a way, and certainly perpetuated for that movie. And it was right for that movie to be kind of on edge and not know what was going to happen. And people are, losing their temper at the slightest provocation. All the stuff that's in the movie was a little bit of the atmosphere I think he was trying to create. Now, you can talk to somebody else from the show, like Johnny Pankow. He might say, "Are you kidding? It was amazing."
Yeah, as I said earlier, Alec Baldwin in his memoir said he hated him, Stone, hated working with Stone. That he would, something along the lines of he would throw his mother down his flight of stairs in order to get the shot right. I also read Bogosian and Stone had some, differences with the script, and they co-wrote the script together. Were they also at each other's throats, or were they mostly cordial?
I do remember that Eric at the time, his concern, he was, I might have this wrong, but that it was either about, I think it was about the script per se. That's what it was. So Eric had written this very successful play, and now he's doing a big deal movie, which could be a total game changer for him. And Oliver's a big deal. And I do remember them arguing about a script or some of the dialogue and stuff. And I do remember Oliver, provoking him in the same way that he would with any of us, like whatever his thing was. If it was like, I don't know what he said. He goes, "I don't know if the script works." We're about a week or so shooting. He's like, "I don't know if the script is working at all, actually." Like, okay, so you're the actor who's carrying this role that you've created for the theater. You've converted it into a screenplay with Oliver Stone. You're a week into shooting, no going back. And the director, your collaborator, your colleague, in theory, your supporters, like, "I don't think this is working." I mean, I would have blown my brains out. I just don't know how Eric did it. But I think, again, it was part of this atmosphere that Oliver was creating of, that everybody was just kind of on edge. I don't know.
It's very Machiavellian of him. It's very
maybe, but man, the movie's really good, and I don't know what Oliver would do now. And it's, again, I was 20 or 21 or whatever when I did that movie, so my perception of it then, I'm guarantee you, would be very different if I were to step onto that set today and see how things were going, and what I would notice, what I would recognize, what I would not put up with, what I would think was totally fine. I'm sure there's lots of stuff that I maybe upset me. Now I'd be like, whatever. I see that now when I work with young actors, like what gets them riled up or excited about something, like, it'll be fine. And I wonder what Eric would say now, I don't know if how he would talk about it now.
How did you get along with him, with Bogosian?
I loved him. I still love him.
And you worked with him again after that, right? Was it Law and Order? Was it Law and Order?
It was Law and Order.
Okay.
Law and Order, Criminal Intent.
Yeah.
So I loved him. I thought he would. Well, one, I just thought his writing was exceptional, and I was so impressed with his acting work. And
he's so good.
He's so terrific.
He's great.
He's so terrific and so watchable. And I have a great fondness for him still. But I remember at the time too that I'm sure we were trading stories at the time about being nervous or unsure about some of the stuff we were doing. And he was so open and kind and just good to me. And then years later, when I went to work with him on Law and Order, I remember, because he looks the same, right? And it's like whatever he was when we did the movie, I guess in his 30s, and now it's whatever, he's in his 50s or something. And I remember saying before I went to go see him, I said, okay, so here's the deal, fair warning, like, it's going to make you feel really old when you see me, because I was 20 and I'm nowhere near 20. 30 is much closer to 50 than 20 is to 40, right? Like, so like, just be ready, because it's going to be hard for you, Eric. I'm sure when I went to go see him, it was like this, this moment you have of like, they're that much older, that means I'm that much older. And I totally saw it on his face. It was really funny. But anyway, he was lovely he was lovely, as he always was, on Law and Order, and I really enjoyed being with him again. And funny enough, when I was acting, I had that scene from Talk Radio that you're talking about in the bedroom, and I had a scene from Law and Order, both with Eric. That I had those on my acting demo reel.
On your reel, yeah.
Years
right.
past the expiration date, right? Because I liked work, and I like those scenes and all that stuff. So Eric's been with me, whether he knew it or not, for a long time.
Oh wow, that's I love that story. Yeah, he's a phenomenal actor. I don't know. Did you see Uncut Gems a couple of years ago?
Yeah, me great. Yeah, no, he's so great.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Wonderland is another film he with Val Kilmer. Just a really an incredible talent. What about Alec Baldwin? Did you work? There wasn't too much dialogue between the two of you,
but we were always all together, right? Because the nature of that setup with those glass walls for the radio station was such that we always had to interact, whether we were actually talking to each other or not. And I had known him from before, because one of my first gigs in LA after Cassavetes, From High to Low, was doing Knots Landing, and he played his like tardy, slutty waitress girlfriend or affair or something. I can't remember, but like I was his love interest for 6 or 7 episodes or something on
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So on that, I would have been 18 or something, or 19. So not that long before I'd worked with him on Knots Landing, from Knots Landing to Talk Radio. So I knew him going into it. He's probably everything that you'd expect that you see now. He's super like big personality, really funny, really quick. I thought fit right into Oliver's world perfectly. That kind of growly guy energy that he had.
Oh yeah.
He was at the time he was clean and sober, and he was sort of open about that it had been a struggle and it was now no longer. So he was, as far as I could tell, all well behaved in that department, but it was a fresh sobriety. That's what I remember. Could be true, not true. He might say that's not true, but so he kind of had that vibrating energy all the time. But when I watched it the other night, I was like, man, that guy's got confidence just coming out his butt, right? He just takes over, and he'd had success for sure at that point, but he wasn't some like mega huge movie star.
Not yet.
Took over, right?
Yeah.
It's really.
Yeah, because this was like right before Beetlejuice and Married to the Mob. I think he had 88. I think was 1988 was a big year for him. But yeah, you're right. He is, even in his memoirs, quite open about what you were saying, his addiction at that time, and starting fresh and coming out of it. So I'm relieved to hear at least you got along with with the rest of the cast.
Oh, I love
even
them.
in
I
yeah.
love them. I love them. I love John McGinley. Love Johnny Pankow. Love Michael Wincott. I mean, they were such good boys, men, whatever. They were great, and they were good to me. Now I look back and think, well, to them, it was true. I was sort of new, and to them, I must have seemed really new. Because they all had more experience than me, and again, some of them with Oliver. But I love them all in a different way. I mean, they were good boys. And I saw McGinley. God, I can't remember. I don't know how or why I saw him, and he's exactly the same. It was, I don't know, it was maybe 10 years ago or something. That thing that you love about somebody that you really respond to, and whatever it is about them that makes you laugh, and all that stuff is the same when I ran into him. Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear, because there's nothing worse than hearing, like, I've always loved this film. There's nothing worse than hearing than hearing that the whole thing was a nightmare and everyone was an asshole or something. So
it was hard.
Yeah.
And it was challenging, and it was intense. And but it was a really sort of unique and special experience. And I'm like I said when we started, I feel now proud to have been a part of it. I was happy to have for you to instigate me to look at it, because I literally haven't looked at it since it came out.